Yo, what's good with y'all boys, man? We back with another video. Today we're gonna be reacting to Teen Killer Shocks Detectives by the way he speaks. After this
Valhalla
ad.
Rising, now available on mobile and PC.
Fire was even started.
Let's get it.
In about 3 seconds, you'll see
Stay prayed up.
Zachary
All
crack,
glory to God.
but not in the way anyone expected.
It looks kind of evil when you do that, I'm gonna have to say. I think you know you're doing it.
In this never-before-seen interrogation footage, Zachary is brutally honest as he details his crime, and yet his astonishing motive leaves investigators wondering how much of this chilling tale is the result of a disturbed mind or a series of cleverly concocted lies. In the early hours of August 10th, 2012, emergency services were called to a house fire in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Inside the burning home, firefighters discovered the body of Melanie Davis lying on her bed, covered in blood
What the fuck?
and brutally disfigured. The single mom of 2 teenage boys worked as a paralegal and trained
R.I.P. bro. She was doing the best she could, I'm sure. R.I.P. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm sure, but from the sounds of it, she was.
as a triathlete. Outside the home, one of her sons,
Yeah, man. She was doing the best she could, man.
17-year-old Joshua Davis, waited with the police, but his younger brother, Zachary, was nowhere to be found. 4 hours later, and around 5 miles from the home, police spotted 15-year-old Zachary Davis as he walked alone down a road, attempting to leave town.
Bro don't look no 15, that's first of all.
He was subsequently picked up and brought to the Summer Country Sheriff's Office for questioning. His interview is just the beginning of a truly disturbing case, filled with shocking allegations and a series of twisted lies.
This is the sheriff's office, and what we'd like to do is talk to you about there's only something happened at your house, and that's what we kind of want to talk to you about. You've probably seen some cop shows and stuff, right? You've seen police shows and things like that. You do have rights and stuff, and so before asking questions, you must understand your rights. You want to go ahead and talk to us about what happened tonight? Yeah, sure. Okay. If you do, just Zach, what I want to do is make sure you understand that this is a waiver, right, saying you're waiving your rights. What I'd like to do is make sure you can read and write. If you would, read that last paragraph out loud.
I've read this statement of my rights.
Bro's 15. Talking like Batman. What the fuck?
I understand what my rights are.
With his confirmation that he's waiving his rights, the interview gets underway.
You've never been in any trouble, have you?
No, sir.
So, no trouble in school, nothing like that?
No, sir.
One of the obvious unusual characteristics about Zachary is his lack of expression of emotion or emotional detachment. His monotone voice and flat facial expression are indications of a person who is either guarded and is consciously avoiding any show of emotion, or a person who struggles to express emotion because of some other issue, such as a psychotic disorder like schizophrenia, or a developmental disorder like autism
He got something.
spectrum disorder. Though he doesn't offer up a lot of information himself, the investigators have researched Zachary's family and began asking him about his past to get him comfortable with talking to them.
I understand that your father had passed away.
Yes, sir.
How did he pass away?
He died from Garrett's disease.
Pretty rough on you, wasn't it?
No, sir.
It didn't bother you?
No, sir.
Damn. Bro said, fuck my pops.
I was told that it bothered you. That you were upset about your dad. Is that not true?
No, sir.
So it is true?
No, sir.
Okay.
In 2007, the Davis family faced their first tragedy, but certainly not their last. The 2 boys lost their father, Chris, to
RP.
amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. Losing a parent is traumatic for any child, but despite his denials, his father's death impacted Zachary even more severely than most, and with consequences that would unfold years later. According to family, Zachary was already a quiet kid, But at only 9 years old when his father died, he became even more withdrawn. Following the tragedy, the family, now just Melanie and her 2 sons, moved to Sumner County. And though this was meant to be a fresh start, things would only get worse for them once there. At 11, Zachary began to display strange behavior, though it isn't clear exactly what. But Melanie grew concerned enough to seek medical help for her son.
Have you ever had to see a
W
doctor
mom,
for
W
anything
mom.
as far as having problems with thinking about things or anything?
I saw it there. Sure, I have it wasn't a very long direction to come.
What was that about? Who wanted to see a therapist?
My mother.
She did. Okay, so there was just a couple times is all you saw.
W mom,
How long
W
ago was
mom.
that?
Me personally, I'm not for therapy, but in cases like this, I'm all
I
for
don't
it.
remember what year that was.
2008, I think.
What were the reasons that your mama wanted you to go to therapy?
She never told me.
Zachary was diagnosed with a depressive disorder, but that was just the beginning. He also told doctors that he was hearing voices,
So he's
including
schizophrenic.
the voice of his deceased father, and he was soon diagnosed with psychosis.
Psychosis.
However, at some point, his mother stopped his mental health treatment, but it's unknown exactly why. While psychosis itself is not a clinical disorder, it is a symptom that is often associated with schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Onset of schizophrenia in children is very rare, but still possible. Other causes of hearing voices during childhood could include depression, an anxiety disorder, and/or experiencing a traumatic event, such as the death of a parent.
Are you a Roblox fanatic? Microsoft Rewards has a brand new way for you to...
Despite Zachary telling investigators he wasn't seeing anyone for help, the calendar on his phone showed that he had at least one meeting with the guidance counselor at his school, Ms. Higgs, indicating that perhaps someone realized something was wrong. Though no one could have guessed the true extent of just how disturbed he was.
Something
Man,
went on
just
at your house
listen
today,
how
I
he
just feel
talk.
like you to kind of tell us what happened.
I killed my mom in her sleepless nights.
Off the back. 8.5 minutes into the video. Off the back. Oh my gosh. In her sleep with the sledgehammer. RP, bro.
Is there a reason why you did that?
Yes, sir.
Well, can you tell me why?
No, sir.
You can't tell me why?
No, sir.
Is it a reason you don't know why you did it, or you just don't want to tell?
I didn't know why I did it. Just better not tell.
Okay. You do know why you did it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you set the house on fire too?
I'm sorry. I know y'all tired of me saying this. Mag dump his ass.
I tried to let him know.
Mag dump his ass.
Got the whole house on fire now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Man,
Yeah,
bro,
it did
Mag
down
dump his
there
ass.
a little bit, I think, but not bad or anything.
Like, I feel like
Have you been having
that
problems
should be the
with
punishment. Like, on cases like this, just the worst of the
Unlike
worst,
most
bro. If you
crimes,
catch
it's
them
all too clear
wherever they at, mag dump their ass. That's justice. Mag dump them.
Zachary is the killer, but though he states freely that he killed his mother, this story will change eventually. Hauntingly, recovered text messages between Zachary and his mom seem to indicate that they had a seemingly ordinary, even loving relationship. In one, Zachary wrote to his mother, "Sorry, I was asleep," with a heart emoji. Another, this one from Melanie to Zachary, reads, "Love you, tried to talk to you before we left, but your door was locked." Through these texts, the family appeared to be perfectly normal, but that couldn't be further from the truth.
We found a book on a notepad that was on you. It said some things in there. Is that notepad yours that we found?
A lot of schizophrenic people, they be writing down in their notes, like, the voices they be hearing or, like, their thoughts and shit. They be having, like, a little diary. You might have one of those.
It talks about your mom and about.
Yes, sir.
And that's what's so important about this. I mean, we want to understand what, like I said, you don't have to tell us if you don't want to. I mean, but we want to understand, what happened. I mean, that's important. I know it could be kind of scary to talk about, but.
Would you feel more comfortable if there was just one person in the room?
I don't mind having to get fired.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, like I told you in your rights, you don't have to tell us if you don't want to. It's very important though that, something like this that happens, there's usually a reason for it. That's what we want to know. There's a reason. This is your time to tell us, why that happened.
I'd rather not, sir.
Okay.
The text messages from the day before he killed his mom show them planning to go to a movie. Melanie first wrote, "Hey, sweetie, I just took Josh to the orthodontist. We'll be back hopefully soon." Then later, "We can see Born or Campaign today. I want to see both." And, "Sounds good. Josh is back in, but we may need to pick him up at Ryan's house." The last message she sent before her death was to Zachary and reads only, "Okay," with a heart. It's eerily clear that Melanie had no idea what Zachary was planning, or that she would meet such a horrific end just hours after attending a movie with her two
RIP.
sons.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where
Zachary's brother Josh has also been brought to the police station to speak with police. He was asked to recount his day before the fire was set. He told them that he had gone to the orthodontist with his mother before returning home. His answer also reveals a bit about his relationship with his brother.
What's that doing when you get home?
I think she's playing Xbox. We kind of keep to ourselves, I guess.
Okay, so you don't have a good relationship?
Well, no, we do. It's just like I don't know. Like he just kind of, stays to himself. He's kind of a quiet person, I guess.
Have you been having any problems? I mean,
he's always been kind of like quiet. I guess odd.
Josh seems hesitant to talk about his brother, and although he's giving limited information, the descriptive words such as quiet and odd may indicate that Zachary was showing signs of mental health issues.
100.
What's also strange here is Josh's apparent lack of visible concern, given what just happened to his mother. The average son or
Facts.
family member would
I
be
was gonna say, like, come on now.
hysterical and wondering, or at least theorizing,
Like, the way his demeanor is coming off, like he expected this to happen, or they went to the movies, got into it with the mom, something happened.
about what could have prompted Zachary to commit such a horrific act. However, there's a chance he's in shock, as this all just occurred a few hours earlier.
What kind of person is your brother?
Your typical male teenager.
Typical male teenager. You two get along pretty good?
Sometimes.
Despite this claim, texts between the brothers show that they messaged fairly often, talking about how their school year was delayed, video games, and how Zachary wanted to spend his birthday alone, with Josh writing to him, "If you don't want Ryan to come over, I can tell him not to. I want you to have your birthday the way you want it, and I especially want you to be happy on your birthday." In one more recent message, Josh even apologizes for arguing with Zachary. The brothers often used heart emojis in their messages, frequently saying "I love you" to each other. From the outside, it's difficult to imagine such a horrific tragedy occurring in this family, but only because
Damn, they
Zachary
look
has
different.
yet to reveal his motive to investigators.
When you talk to people on the phone, who do you talk to? I mean, do you have friends you chat with or anything like that?
No, sir. I usually only talk to my mother and my brother on my phone.
So you don't have any friends other than your mother and your brother that you talk to?
No, sir.
Zachary may not have had many friends
that
outside
was,
of his family.
Like, that's the first problem right there, man. Be more social, but like,
But a note in his phone indicated that there was a teacher who he was close to. The note reads, Thursday, March 29th, 2012. I saw Mr. Voss at school today. From the way he looked at me, I could tell he hated me. I didn't know what to say to him, so I just kept walking. I really hope I can repair our friendship before I leave Tennessee. He's the only person I've met that has sincerely cared about me. Hell, he's like a father to me. I don't know what I did to cause this, but I hope it can be forgiven. Mr. Voss is also the only true friend I've ever had. This note depicts a very
shout out Mr. Voss, man.
Different person from the emotionally detached teen we're seeing in this interrogation. His note shows indications of emotion, of caring what another person thinks of him, and of caring about another person, his teacher. The note indicates that Zachary may be lonely, and that he may not be able to connect with kids his age if he names a teacher as his friend.
Facts.
Odin Valhalla Rising, now available on mobile and PC, exclusively with
From when he
Google
saw
Play
the little
Games.
father figure from me,
In his
he got to
interview,
move
Josh
away
tells
from
the
him,
detectives that when the movie ended around 8 p.m., the family went directly home.
You didn't see anything tonight that was any different than the way he normally acts?
I mean, no.
It's surprising that Zachary was not either acting differently from his typical
Man, what the fuck?
behavior just prior to murdering his mother, or at least showing a change in his behavior
Like, he just looks sinister.
recently. The level of aggression that he inflicted on his mother when he killed her, and the simple fact that he went through with murdering her, are behaviors that occur when a person has snapped or has reached an emotional breakdown. Josh then recounts going into his mother's room to talk to her just a few hours before Zachary killed her.
I went and talked to my mom for a little while, and then
Remember about what time that was?
that was right around 9, probably. That was right when I said goodnight. And she went to sleep, and then I went upstairs and was in my room.
So you talked to her for a few minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, he does not. I'm noticing now he don't talk that weird compared to his brother. Like, they both have that robotic tone of voice, bro.
She was working out when I went in there, so I worked out with her for a minute.
It sounds like it could be the audio or the video a little bit too, on their side, on the detective side or whatever. But nah, it's definitely the other dude's voice is definitely
What was she doing when you said she was working out? What was she working out?
Like doing stuff.
Despite describing what were his last moments with his mother, Josh still shows very little, if any, emotion.
That's
When
weird.
you get home and your mom goes to bed at 9, where are you and what are you doing in the house? Are you in the house?
I was already planning everything.
You were in your bedroom or in the room where the fire was started?
The room where the fire was started.
What do you call that room?
What do you call it? Game room.
Game room? So you're in the game room planning everything?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how long does it take you to plan that?
Probably a few minutes, but I waited for several hours to make sure everybody in the house was asleep.
How did you make sure they were asleep?
I just waited and then checked on them.
Just checked on them? Opened the door and looked at them?
Yes, sir. I killed her at around 11 p.m., I think. And I think she went to sleep at around 9 o'clock. Okay. When you killed her,
Bro, it's just like, that's so, like, bro, it's so weird. Like, how emotionally detached the whole family is. Like, bro, they're orphans now. Bro literally made himself Batman.
What about your brother lives there with you too, right? That's the only person lives with you?
yes, sir.
Did you do anything to him?
No, sir. I was kind of expecting the fire to kill him.
Oh, you were? Okay.
That's right.
Bro
Zachary didn't
literally
just set the
became
fire in an attempt
Batman.
to destroy the evidence of him killing his mother, but also in the hopes that his brother would be killed by the flames. As well, to ensure Melanie's
Bro wanted to be an orphan, no signs of family at all. Like, what the fuck?
death, after hitting her with a sledgehammer, Zachary locked the door behind him to prevent Josh from going in and potentially helping her.
And then I woke up around, I'm not sure what time it is, time of the thing was going off. And, at first I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a sound in my room. Then I figured out it was a fire alarm. I was running around, and I was looking for my brother upstairs in his room. He wasn't in there, and I saw the fire was started in there. So I ran downstairs to get my mom, and the door was locked. So I had to kick the door in to get in there. And then I saw her on the bed.
What'd you do then?
I just...
Damn, traumatic for the brother, bro. That shit crazy. Like, bro. Fucking sledgehammered face, burned body, like, bro. R.I.P.
Went outside the house and called 911 and went and got my neighbor's Mark and Sean.
Where'd you get the sledgehammer at?
My gosh.
That's crazy.
Okay, and what about, how did you try and set the fire?
First I tried to drag the lawnmower upstairs and meet to the fuel tank in the room, but I couldn't do that, so I just poured a bottle of whiskey on the floor and left it on fire.
A bottle of whiskey?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was that before or after you hit your mom?
After.
After, okay. How many times did you hit her with the sledgehammer?
I don't know.
I mean, any estimation?
I'd say at least 12.
What the fuck? He hit her 12 times with the sledgehammer, bro. In her sleep, gang? Like, bro, that's so crazy. Like, pulverized head.
12 times. Where did you hit her at on her body?
Around the head area.
Okay, was she sleeping at the time, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did she wake up and say anything to you?
No, sir. I put my fingers on her neck to check her pulse and make sure she was dead.
Did you touch her anywhere else?
No, sir.
Have you thought about touching her anywhere else?
No, sir.
There is electromagnetic energy in that pyramid between...
Josh was asked the same question, likely to determine if his story will match the forensic evidence found on Melanie's body.
When you went in the bedroom, at any time did you touch your mom?
Yeah, Summer County.
When you went in that room?
No, I don't think so. Like, I kinda... No.
He witnessed the altercation?
Like, I ran in and because then I saw her, and I freaked me out.
When you left, what were your plans at that point?
I haven't stopped that for
Oh, yeah. When did you think about doing this? I mean, when did this pop into your...
Mind you, there's still not even 14 minutes into this interview, and this is all he's unpacked, bro. Like, this shit is crazy. Like,
7 years ago.
Had you told anybody as far as killing your mom?
7 years ago.
he's been wanting to kill his mom for years. What the fuck?
Had you told...
Watch everybody, bro. Even y'all kids. If they a little off, you could love them, but love them from a distance with care. Like, be careful, bro. Like,
Told anybody about it?
No, sure.
That's crazy.
So, with this, I mean, thinking about this, was your mom just bad to you, or?
No, sir.
Pretty good mom? Was she a pretty good mom, or?
She wasn't very good mom. She wasn't very good. I don't know.
Refusing to classify her as either a good or a bad mom and sounding apathetic.
Well, I assume he didn't think she was a good, or like, I didn't think, like, assuming. Obviously, he ain't finna say she a good mom. He just killed her.
His relationship with her could indicate that he was unable to form a true emotional connection with her or anyone else.
Crazy.
Because of his willingness to answer most of the investigators' questions, except for his all-important motive. They ask him a series of
wasn't
questions
able to have an emotional connection with his own mom, so she was just his caretaker, basically.
to get as much information as possible.
That's crazy.
He mentioned a note that has been found. When did you have a chance to write that?
While I was waiting and after I did it.
So you did the whole note, there's like two and a half pages, you did it all tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you did some before you killed your mother and some after?
Yes, sir.
When did you write the last part? About what time did you write the last part?
I want to know what this shit say, no cap.
I don't know, sometime around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I think.
Okay, while you were out walking and stuff?
Yes, sir.
Was it before you bought the Pepsi at the Thorntons?
Yes, sir.
You had your phone with you for a while. Did you call anybody on your phone?
No, sir.
Okay, what'd you do with your phone?
I didn't do anything with it. I didn't even realize it was in the pocket until I left.
So where's it at now?
I threw it in a ditch.
Why'd you throw it away?
I assumed that I could be tracked for it.
Okay. What was your plans as far, I mean, you didn't have any plans on where you're heading to, or how, evidently you were trying to escape and trying to get away from police. You don't remember where you're trying to go to?
No, sir.
You had a backpack, so you had stuff, you were just gonna walk and just try and get out of the area?
Yes, sir.
Chillingly, after killing his mom and fleeing the house, Zachary went to a convenience store to buy a Pepsi before he began walking.
It's just like, where does this leave the brother now? Like, he's an orphan. He's in a state where he don't really, like, you feel me? He gotta go stay with a friend, a girlfriend, like, go back to his home state, something, like, I don't know.
In an attempt to escape from police. Though he had made an elaborate plan, it doesn't appear that he thought ahead to what he would do after.
About this case, I ain't gonna lie,
unverified
that's all I can
rumors
say.
online from people claiming to live in Sumner County. After setting the fire, Zachary ran
I mean, with these
nonstop
cases, you see a lot of crazy things, but, bro,
for almost 5 miles with no
it's just how he is. Like, for me, he's just not there.
destination in mind. Ironically, a note on his phone written 7 months earlier on January 22nd, 2012, indicates that he had thought about his escape, or at least criminals escaping police detection more broadly. The note states, "After reading dozens of news reports about killers, I believe I found several consistent reasons why most killers are caught within a year. They rely too much on civilization. Most killers hide out in heavily populated areas or easily accessible areas.
So he was studying killers as a kid growing up, and now not to be caught as a killer. Like, what the hell, bro? Watch your kids, watch what they watching. Like, this is why overprotective parents monitor their kids the way that they do, because, bro, you never know what they could be getting into on the internet, on their phone, see on social media, and just get drawn towards the wrong stuff.
They don't migrate to other areas after several kills in a row. This makes the police in their area more alert and the citizens more cautious. Most rely too much on firearms or other weapons that produce loud noises. This will attract unwanted attention to their location.
Is she texting someone behind your back? A single Spokeo search can help you find out who she's met.
This sort of obsession with murder and serial killers can occur among people with severe mental illness. The fixation doesn't necessarily have to be with murder and serial killers, but it just so happened to be the case with Zachary. These individuals may often struggle with low self-esteem and therefore derive a sense of feeling powerful when they identify with bad guys like serial killers. Zachary may have felt tough and strong by learning the strategies of killers and thinking he could emulate them. Maybe this gave him a sense of identity, believing that he could not only be a killer too, but become a smarter killer by not making the same mistakes as the criminals he studied. Still, there was
His
other
mom,
evidence
though,
of
that's
Zachary's
so
plan falling
weird,
apart,
bro.
such as the knife investigators found
Taking out the person that brought you in the world is so crazy.
abandoned at the scene.
So why is the knife outside?
I was trying to put it into my backpack, and then the fire alarm started, and I just ran out.
What were you going to use that knife for?
Same thing I used the sledgehammer for.
Who were you going to use the knife on?
No specific person.
Were you looking to kill someone else tonight?
Only if they got in my way.
What do you mean by that?
If they tried to stop me from escaping.
So the lady at Thornton's who sold you the Pepsi, she was never in any danger?
No, sir.
But the officer that arrested you could have potentially been in danger if you were of the mind.
I guess, but it would be kind of much considering he had a gun and I just had a knife and a hammer.
What if he didn't have a gun and he tried to stop you?
I wouldn't attack him unless I was provoked by him.
Were you provoked by your brother?
No, sir.
Were you provoked by your mother?
No, sir.
What is most troubling is that according to both Zachary and Josh, there was no indication that he had been planning any of this. In crime scene photos exclusively obtained by EWU, there appears to be a code written on what may be the handle of the sledgehammer. Police also recovered a handwritten alphabetic key.
What the fuck? Oh, no. Fuck. No, we don't get into that shit. This is exactly what I mean. Watch what the fuck your kid is doing. What the hell is this? The fuck?
Code. The code written on the handle translates as Z Requiem. This has never been publicly confirmed, but ZED could possibly stand for Zachary's initials, Zachary Everett Davis. He may have also named the sledgehammer Requiem, which often refers to a mass for the dead. This is pure speculation and just a theory, but
man, what the fuck?
This coded message could potentially be evidence that Zachary may have planned the attack ahead of time.
This is kind of serious. I mean, Zach, it's kind of serious thing to think about killing your mom. You didn't try and talk to anybody about this?
No, sir.
Why not? I mean, wouldn't it not bother you? Or?
Yes, sir.
Did it bother you?
No, sir.
Oh, it didn't bother you? Have you ever hurt anybody before?
No, sir.
Well, I mean, how did you feel when you killed your mom?
I didn't think my name.
It's possible that Zachary is saying what he thinks a serial killer would say, as though he's playing a role. It's difficult to say for sure, but we know that he was affectionate toward his mother and
man, like, you care, bro. Like, he think he a serial killer now. That's what he wants to portray. That's what he want to see himself as. That's the image he want to be putting out and shit. Whatever, but come on, bro. You were studying killers and other languages and little shit. Like, what was wrong with bro?
the text messages they exchanged, and she was affectionate toward him as well. He made the same comment about not feeling anything about his father's death. It's possible that it's easier for Zachary to cut off all emotion than to feel the pain of grief and loss. On the other hand, his complete detachment from his mom may be the result of a personality disorder, such as schizoid personality disorder. In this disorder, the individual does not want to have any close relationships, even with family members. They prefer to be alone and appear to be cold and have a flattened affect, as Zachary does.
Did y'all have any, was there any...
Hey, watching like videos like this will raise your awareness, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's good to see these types of videos and know that these types of people are out there, just to be cautious in any situation that you're in, whether it's at the store. Like that store clerk, man, anything could have went bad. Anybody on the way, a neighbor saw him running out the house, anything could have went wrong.
Problems between you and him, or him and your mom, or did they have any disagreements, or was there anything?
like, I think they would argue.
Other than normal,
Yeah.
normal parents.
Not that I know of.
And yet, Zachary had savagely attacked his mother while she slept.
What'd you do with the sledgehammer after you hit her with it?
I just laid it in the laundry room.
Why did you hit her about 12 times with it? Why so many times?
To make sure she was dead.
Like, bro.
The officer asks Zachary to demonstrate how he swung the sledgehammer to kill his mother.
When I tell you people like this just need to be mag dumped, like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not complimenting him, nothing. He does have a fucking serial killer demeanor, bro. Like, if that was his goal, he definitely reached his goal. Like, bro, you're a little creepy, bro. You're a little weird, buddy. I ain't gonna lie, you're a little weird.
So you right-handed?
Yes, sir.
Stand back up. Is that blood on your pants right there? In the front, right where your crotch is.
Oh, no, that's dirty.
Did you change clothes?
This is blood, though.
Oh, okay. And is that your mother's blood?
Yes, sir.
Are those the same shoes you were wearing?
Yes, sir.
Those are the same pants you were wearing?
Yes, sir.
That's the same shirt you were wearing?
No, sir.
Where's the shirt you were wearing?
I threw it away.
Why'd you get rid of that shirt?
It had pieces of my mother's brain stuck to it.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That comment right there. It's crazy. Bro.
Still trying to understand why Zachary had killed his mother in such a brutal way, the officer asks him to recount his day.
Like hitting somebody 12 times in the head with a sledgehammer while they sleep over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like damn, bro.
Before
like,
the attack.
You had to
It was
see
then
some
that
fucking
detectives
some
noticed
brains and like crazy shit doing that.
Something interesting. Zachary told them that he started his day by reading a book, Misery by Stephen King.
In the book, in the Misery book, one of the characters uses a sledgehammer. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir.
Actually, the detectives have this wrong. In the book Misery, the main character uses an axe, while in the movie adaptation, she uses a sledgehammer.
Are you sure you didn't get any of your thought process from one of those, from that book?
Yes, sir.
So, so do you think, so you're saying that's strictly coincidence?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't draw any?
He definitely got some inspiration and shit from that, because y'all saw the notes from when he was younger about watching the news and shit, like studying killers and how they get caught and shit.
Any kind of thought process from the book Misery as to how you killed your mother?
No, sir.
Gets to a point.
We've been doing this a long time, and I mean, sledgehammer is a very unusual weapon to kill somebody with. So that's why he and I are asking that question, why a sledgehammer?
I would have used a knife, but I was worried that I missed the vital area.
Did you have any other type of weapons in the house that you thought about using?
Something about using a claw hammer.
A claw hammer?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you don't remember feeling?
Mind you, I don't know what the fuck a claw hammer is. Like the weapon he's talking about even using right now, I don't even know what the fuck it is. Like, pack him up, get him out of here. Like, this is only 35 minutes into the interview. Like, other people that are actually like there, bro, they be in there for hours talking, trying to defend themselves, do this and that. He's straight up forward 35 minutes. I did all that shit. That's what he's saying. Straight flat out. He never denied it from the beginning.
Did you cry?
No, sir.
Were you screaming when you're hitting her?
No, sir.
Did you say anything to her before you hit her?
No, sir.
Did you love your mother?
Somewhat.
You say somewhat, I mean, you know, is there anything she's ever did to you that you, hate her for?
No, sir.
Though Zachary denies that the book inspired his weapon of choice, possibly because he wants to take all the credit himself, his internet history indicates that murder and
Yeah, this was definitely back in the day. What the fuck?
death was something he'd been thinking about for a long time. He had 2 particularly strange apps downloaded on his phone, including one about serial killers.
Yeah, bro. Like, what the fuck?
And another about torture devices, as well.
Oh, bro. Come on, bro.
Among the more
crazy.
mundane video game cheat codes and jokes, he had a copious amount of gory images. Zachary had also bookmarked a few bizarre websites, including articles about the murder of Junko Furuta, Catherine Murch, who took her own life after killing her kids, the Louisville chainsaw murder.
So he got obsessed just with gore and death, and that's literally what I'm saying. Like, watch what your kids are getting into on the internet. Watch what your kids are doing for real, because you don't want these types of problems, bro.
A cult leader on trial in Ohio for killing a family of 5 and an X-Acto
what
knife
the
double
fuck?
homicide. He also
Like,
had
it's just all weird. Like, what the hell?
a particular obsession with the killer Nevada Tan, also known as the Sasebo slashing, where an 11-year-old murdered another schoolgirl, 12-year-old Satomi Mitarai. Perhaps
Man,
most
this
tellingly,
shit crazy.
Zachary had also bookmarked an article titled Understanding Schizophrenia from HelpGuide.org. It's possible that he may have been trying to figure out why he was experiencing certain symptoms. Although Zachary may have some sort of severe mental illness, maybe even psychosis, as he's sitting in the interrogation room answering questions, he appears more like a cold-blooded murderer than a person suffering from psychosis. But this wasn't all. Zachary made notes on his phone that give unique insight into his twisted state of mind leading up to the killing. One says simply, Samantha Marshall, female, possible victim of. Another says, hanging over the masses like a shadow or a dark cloud, executing them all one by one without a sound. Omnipresent and biding its time, ready to steal you away at your prime. Welcoming to the stupid and the bold, not following any pattern, just doing as told. Laying to rest kings, queens, peasants, and thrall, death will eventually punish us all.
The fuck? Who is he, the
Odin
death
Valhalla
poet?
Rising. Now available
Fuck
on
wrong with
mobile and
him?
PC.
So you can rewind the clock and go back. What would you do?
No, I killed Josh with a sledgehammer too.
In stark contrast,
Bro, what the fuck? Bro said if he could go back, he's getting the brother too. What the hell?
to Zachary's statement, when Josh was brought in for a second interview, the detective asks him about an incident that occurred at school, showing that the brothers saw their relationship with each other completely differently.
But when you got in trouble with at school, I think it was last year, what happened to cause that when you got in a fight? Somebody said they were picking on Zach.
Oh, no, that was 8th grade.
Oh, was it 8th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Middle school, eh?
Yeah.
What happened to cause, I mean, what were they doing?
He was like like a piece paper, like, you know how you roll up a thing of paper.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of hitting him with that.
Hitting Zach with it?
Yeah, and I told the kid to stop, and he went up there and did it again. So,
Okay. And what was Zach's take on that?
I mean,
was he mad that the guy was hitting him, or was he just indifferent, or did he ask you to do something about it, or was
no, he didn't ask me to do anything.
Okay. Just taking up for little brother.
It's possible that Zachary resented that his brother stepped in to be the hero. He may have been frustrated that he couldn't protect himself and instead had to be saved by Josh.
Do you still want to kill Josh?
Yes.
Man, what the fuck?
Sure. Yes.
Bro still wants to kill his brother. Like, what the fuck did brother do?
And you're not going to tell me why?
No, sir.
What?
I'm really curious as to why.
For real?
I mean, you said that he was the only confidant you had. You didn't talk to anybody else. Why would you want to get rid of the only person that you confide in and talk to?
I don't know.
Well, you said
He
you
knows.
don't want to tell me, so you do know. There's a difference in wanting to tell me and not knowing.
Nah,
You
he
just told me you
knows.
didn't want to tell me, so you do know why you want to kill your brother and you killed your mother. I would just like for you to share that with me.
I'd rather not, sir.
But you will admit that you know why you did it.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you always talk like you're talking to us now?
Yes, sir.
So if I talk to someone that knows you or a teacher, they're going to say, this is your demeanor. This is how you talk.
Most likely.
And so you're always monotone and robotic when you talk.
Yes, sir.
Unnerved by Zachary's behavior during his interrogation, detectives asked Josh the same question.
Has he always been talking that monotone voice?
Like quiet.
He's kind of quiet. His voice don't go up or down. It's just like a flat monotone voice. Is that the way he normally talk? All the way? When did he start talking that way?
It's always been the way I remember it.
Really?
Yeah.
You ever laugh?
Sometimes.
What makes you laugh?
Oh nah, I don't want to hear that laugh. And he talking about various things. Them little cases he was looking at and reading, that's what he was laughing at, that weird shit.
Various things. Various things.
Give me an example.
Should be crazy.
Well, I was laughing myself when I killed my mother.
See what the fuck, bro? What the hell?
You were what?
Well, I was laughing myself when I killed my mother.
You were what?
I was laughing when I killed my mother.
What the fuck?
You're laughing. Why were you laughing?
I don't know.
What?
Were you laughing your ass off at that time?
He's mad crazy. Like, what the hell? Like, mad crazy. Like, bro, the fact that they ain't seen no
Paradoxical
signs, no
laughter
nothing, like, come on.
Often occurs among people with schizophrenia. They may laugh either to themselves, often in response to a hallucination, or they may laugh in serious situations. However, throughout the interrogation, he has not laughed inappropriately at all. It's possible that Zachary once again is trying to present himself as the evil villain he may identify with.
Bro, he thinks he's the people in those cases he read and shit like that, bro. But this is real life, dude.
Zachary,
I mean, that was real life too, but like, bro, come on now. Wanting to be like them is nuts.
is as void of emotion as he's trying to portray is unknown. His note entries on his phone, which show expressions of emotion, puts into question this image of himself that he's trying to show in interrogation.
Why were you laughing your ass off when you killed your mother?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. We went over this a while ago. You know why that you wanted to kill your mom. You just don't want to tell me.
No, I actually don't know why I was laughing.
Well, was it a sense of accomplishment?
No, sir.
Do you laugh when you read the horror books?
No, sir.
Did you laugh today or yesterday when you read Misery?
No, sir.
Do you see do you see why it would be difficult for me to understand why that would be funny?
Yes, sir.
A lot of people said it's just highly unusual for a 15-year-old to take a sledgehammer and
Exactly, like, mind you, bro's 15, bro. 15 doing this shit. 15.
and be laughing his ass off and hit her in the head with it 12 times.
Like, that's
What do you
crazy.
I don't have any more information to give to you.
You can't think of any reason whatsoever.
No, sir.
With still no indication why he killed his mother in such a brutal way, the detective attempts to figure out if there were any issues in the family that may have motivated Zachary. In response to the detective's continued questioning, Zachary makes a shocking allegation against a family member, claiming that they assaulted him years earlier. This has never been proven to be true, and there's no evidence to back up any of it.
If he told his mom about this and she didn't do anything, that might have sparked up his, his interest of killing her. I'm not saying it's justified. I'm never going to say it's justified. I'm just speculation. That's
Of
all.
Zachary's allegations.
What did he do to you?
Oh no. See, bro, Zachary was just messed up, man. Especially if, like, nobody checked on him after that, nobody asked about it. Like, if nobody knew, if he ain't told nobody, like, that's fucked up. Nobody deserves to be assaulted, bro. So, but fuck that nigga.
How long you been in Tennessee?
Since 2008 or 2007. I don't really remember the exact date.
Did you tell your mom about it?
Yes, sir.
What'd she do?
She didn't believe me.
Oh, shit. So that was his motive. That's why. That's why. That is why. She moved him away from his teacher, the only father figure he really felt like he had. Moved him to Tennessee. Got raped in Tennessee. Told his mom. She ain't believe him. See, bro, that's why. There's always something leading up, bro. Like, I'm not saying, like, he's justified. I'm just saying he's not the only person that would do that in that situation. I'm not saying it me. I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying, like, there's people that would react how he reacted after several years of just that buildup and living with the person that didn't believe that you were assaulted, bro. It's just, that's crazy. But females go through it all the time, so for you to kill your mother, bro, that's crazy.
Did he look you after that?
No, sure.
Just that one time is when he did it?
Yes, sure.
You should have killed him.
And
how old would you have been then? Did you hold any ill will towards him for that?
Yeah, sure.
And the conversation you had with your mother about that, can you tell us about that?
She thought it was my imagination.
Did she ever talk to him?
Not that I know of.
Did he never mentioned anything?
No, sure.
Why did he stop doing it?
I stopped bathing after that.
You stopped bathing?
Yo, who did that? Like, did they say who? Hold on.
Still no indication why he killed his mother in such a brutal way. The detective attempts to figure out if there were any issues and question they up any of Zachary's out. This has never been proven to be true, claiming that they Zachary makes a shocking allegation against a family member, claiming that they assaulted him years earlier. This has never been proven to be true, and there is no evidence.
Just a family member. Oh, okay.
Conversation you had with your mother about that, can you tell us?
That I know of.
Did he stop doing it?
I stopped bathing after that.
You stopped bathing?
Yes, sure.
And he stopped. And that made him stop?
Yes, sure.
when you mean stop bathing, you mean you stop taking baths?
This was just a weird family altogether, bro. Like, it was just a fucked up situation altogether. Like, I'm not gonna say he was bound that up this way, but he was low key, like, he was fucked either way it went. I'm not gonna
Showers
lie.
all together?
Yes, sir.
So how did you clean yourself?
I didn't.
You haven't cleaned yourself since 2008?
I have inconsistent intervals, but it's not very common.
Okay.
The detectives have referred to a notebook they found at the house.
So bro doesn't be showering no more because bro's probably traumatized. Like, bro, what the hell? That would change anybody though. Getting sexually assaulted, raped as a man or a female, that changes. That's gonna change anybody.
which miraculously survived the fire. Within, they found
And not getting believed about it and have to live with the fact that, you know, you were taken advantage of. That's crazy by a family member at that.
2 notes written by Zachary. I was raped by him that day, and I've been planning to kill him ever since. The second entry, a confession, is believed to be written right after he killed his mother. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel remorse. My only true regret was that I didn't give her a faster death. I didn't want her to suffer. It's possible that Zachary's belief about being assaulted was actually a delusion. Individuals diagnosed with schizophrenia may experience delusions, which are strongly held beliefs that are unfounded.
There's always
He seems very conscious, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say it was a hallucination. He seems very conscious about what happened.
reason. There's always a story. And just because it's your story and we're sitting here today doesn't make it any less important to us. It's important to us to find out what the truth is. We would like to deal with that, but we want to hear your side of it. We want to know what happened. Why did, that obviously upset you. But your mom didn't do anything. You know why it took this long for you to act out?
Yeah, sure.
They just boiled and boiled and boiled? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sure.
Would there have been any certain things?
That's what I was thinking.
Would have set that off? I mean, maybe
Not gonna lie,
about
that's
doing
exactly
this.
what I was.
I mean, anything
That's exactly what I was thinking, bro.
particular that happened of all nights, since 2008 to 2012 now, of all nights since then that you would have did this.
Yeah, sure.
As the interview begins to draw to a close, the detectives ask Zachary a few last questions.
What do you think what should happen if somebody did what you did?
I don't know.
I mean,
I guess whatever's necessary.
whatever's necessary, but I mean, what do you feel? I mean, what do you feel? I mean, that's...
Was the death penalty still a thing in 2012? Hold up, let me ask Google. Was the death penalty a thing in Tennessee 2012?
If somebody was to do this to you, what should happen to them?
I don't know. Not death, but not death penalty, like electric chair. My fault.
I don't think it would really matter.
But I didn't get my answer.
Because if you give them the death sentence, they'll die, and you give them a life sentence, they'll die in prison anyway. So in the end, it doesn't really matter.
So, did you think about the consequences when you did this? What could happen to you?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me about that?
No, sir.
Why not?
I'd rather not, sir.
I mean, I'm talking about, do you think if you get caught by the police and did you think that was a possibility?
Yes, sir.
And if you got caught by the police, what do you think would have happened to you?
Well,
Should have got mag dumped. That's what should have happened. He should have got mag dumped on the scene. Just bop, boom, done.
someone like killing one person, I shouldn't get the life sentence. But I don't know how it works here.
The officer had just one last question for Zachary, and this one, oddly, results in the most animated reaction that they've seen from him. But his unsettling response isn't at all what you might expect from someone in this situation.
Do you
Sit up
always
for
look
this.
at people through your eyebrows?
I don't know.
You've been doing it all morning. Do you do that? Is that a habit, or is that something that you're just?
Nah, that being his only sign of
Do
emotion.
you always look at
The
people
only
through
smirk he's let out in an hour and 5 minutes.
your eyebrows?
The only smirk he let out in an hour and 5 minutes, bro. They caught him trying to be sinister, staring through his eyebrows and shit.
You've been doing it all morning. Do you do that? Is that a habit, or is that something that you're just starting to do?
I guess it's a habit. I've never really noticed.
You never really noticed?
No, sir.
Nobody's ever said anything to you about it?
No, sir.
Why'd you giggle?
It's just...
I mean, you don't know that you do that right there?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm not picking on you, I'm just... It looks kind of evil when you do that, I'm gonna have to say. I think you know you're doing it. And you're smiling about it, so I think you're pretty aware of what you're doing.
No, I didn't realize I was doing it.
Yeah, you did.
Given what we know about Zachary's obsession with murder and serial killers,
Yeah,
it's
that's
likely
crazy.
that being called evil is a compliment. This again shows that he might identify with some sort of evil character or villain.
Yeah,
If
like,
Zachary's
bro.
monotone voice and eerie eyebrow stare are all an act, it's impressive because he was able to keep up the act and not break character throughout the whole interrogation. Following his interrogation, Zachary was evaluated by psychologists and mental health experts. One stated they believed that at the time of the killing, Zachary didn't have the mental capacity to meet the legal definition of premeditation, and that his mental illness affected his ability to use reflection and judgment. In fact, the psychologist said that at the time of the crime, his thoughts were driven by psychosis.
Bro, don't tell me they're gonna bail him out of this.
He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and a depressive disorder. Changing his story
Well, we knew he was schizo.
from what he initially said to investigators, Zachary told one doctor that he had heard his deceased father speaking to him and that he had allegedly urged him to kill his mother. Still, investigators
That's that schizophrenia for sure.
pointed out that he had fled the house with bags he had already packed, ditched his phone, and told police that he'd been thinking about killing his mother for years, all demonstrating that he planned the crime. Zachary eventually appeared on the Dr. Phil show, where he gave yet another reason for
Fuck you mean he went on Dr. Phil? He ain't go to jail, nigga?
killing his mother, this time changing his story completely and claiming that he did it because, quote, she wasn't taking care of my family. But still, in this interview, he maintains that he was the one who killed her. However, he would shock everyone, including his own legal defense, when in court he once again told a completely altered story, naming a different killer. During his trial, Josh sat directly behind Zachary, but the brothers never spoke. When Zachary took the witness stand, he changed the story he had been telling for 2.5 years and stated, quote, I didn't do it. He suddenly
What?
blamed the entire crime on Josh, claiming that he was the one who used the sledgehammer to kill their mother and that he just took the fall, making him innocent. Following this, Zachary's attorney attempted to declare him mentally incompetent and for the case to be deemed a mistrial. Furthering the drama, after his lunch break, the attorney asked to be dismissed from the case, but was denied. The judge speculated that he wasn't sure if Zachary was
Imagine your attorney like, nah, bro, I can't deal with you no more. I'm out of this. The judge is like, nah, you're stuck.
the ultimate con man or manipulator or not, but that was the jury's job to figure out. Despite his last-ditch attempt to blame
Oh, yeah. He was in jail getting fucked up. For sure. For sure.
Josh, Zachary Davis was convicted of the first-degree murder of his mother, attempted first-degree murder of his brother, and aggravated arson. He was sentenced to 71 years in prison with eligibility for parole after 51 years.
Bro, that's not enough. Nigga was only 15. You telling me he gonna get out when he's 60-something, 70-something so he could go kill somebody else? One of them homeless people on the street that just go stab a nigga in his neck, man. That shit pissed me off. It's your boy Drew Will. We out, man. Peace.